I'm going to show you guys how to find winning bets on FanDuel. I'm going to go through FanDuel and I'm going to show you and explain to you exactly how you can find certain plays and what to avoid when you are on their sportsbook. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the sportsbook and let's discuss exactly how we can beat them. All right, so the first thing you see as soon as you log into FanDuel and you go on their sportsbook, what's the first thing that pops up here? All the stuff that you probably shouldn't do. Look at this right here. Phillies, Mets, same game parlay, and look at what you're betting here. Bryce Harper, Lindor to get a hit, Turner to get a hit, Schwarber to get 2+ bases, Soto 2+ bases, Pete Alonso 2+ bases. And what do? They flash this at you. A $10 wager will get you $370 in return. So your average person looks at that and is like, yeah, might as well give that a shot. Why not, right? Let me put $10 on that. Well, what they don't realize is, look right here. It says 2,405 people have placed that bet. So if 2,400 people have placed that bet at $10, this bet right here, and I did the math for you guys because I actually wanted to see what the probability is of this hitting. It is 0.006% that you would hit this parlay. Okay? And they put this right in front of you for you to be able to see, like, oh, here, you can go ahead and bet this. And guess what? 2,400 suckers went and placed that. And I don't even really believe that right there is true. I think that's just something they put on there because they can. And makes you believe that other people are in the same boat as you, so you'll go and place that bet. But this, right off the bat, it's the first thing you see, is the worst thing that you could possibly do. Okay? And then let's go ahead and jump up here now. Now up here, what do they show you? You get profit boosts if you do a parlay, same game parlay in the NBA of at least 3 or more legs. What happens here? They're going to give you a 30% profit boost, but the parlay that you're going to do is going to have such minimal profitability, as in probability-wise, that you're most likely not going to hit it. Okay? And they give you that boost for that reason, because now it makes you feel like there's an incentive to go ahead and do that, and then you end up just donating and wasting your money regardless. All right, so this is just some of the key things that they show you on here that you need to avoid. A couple things that you can do is like this one, for example, an MLB 30% profit boost on a live bet. Depending if, the live bet has a good probability and it is what you're looking at, then you could possibly get something out of that. But as for the profit boost on parlays and stuff, that's just to entangle you to be able to bet parlays. That's really all it is. Okay? Now, let's talk, for example, in the MLB. All right, in the MLB, if you're looking for plays that have higher probability. Now, what I'm about to show you, just because a play is minus 200, minus 250, minus 300, doesn't mean it has a high probability of winning. You have to find the exact probability on that, okay? And to find that stuff, you can click the link in the description because I have a whole entire course that shows you how to find the probabilities and to be able to beat these sports books just like what I'm showing you today. All you gotta do is go and click the link. But now to find a certain play, let's say for example, this Phillies and Mets game, you would go here, you'd click more wagers. All right, for player props, we'd go through here. Look, you can go to batter props. If we go under batter props, here's to hit a home run, which obviously nobody wants to do that. You don't really want to do that. Home run money line parlays, like you want to avoid this type of stuff. The best thing to look at here, honestly, is to record a hit. So if you go to record a hit and then you show more, you can see right here. Now this is just for a batter to get one hit. Now like I said, just because the odds are minus 260, minus 220, minus 210 doesn't mean that it's a good bet. You have to understand what the strategy is behind it as well to be able to find the probability that Trey Turner would get a hit, and does that correlate with the minus 260 number? But this is how you're able to find those, okay? Because a lot of people struggle in just being able to find where to look at on the sportsbook. But this is where you find to record a hit, okay? Now, let's go to the NBA because this is a big one that people mistake, they can't find. All right, so one that we like to do is NBA PRAs, which is points, rebounds, and assists, and we like to alternate those. So what you would do is you'd go to the matchup here, you click more wagers. On more wagers up top here on this menu, you go to player combos. Now, once you see player combos, now you can see, look, this is the regular number that everybody sees for points, rebounds, and assist prop. But now you can see the alternates, alternate points, rebounds, assists, alternate. So you'd click on there, click show more, and now you have a whole list here. You see? And this is Paolo Banchero. For his PRA, you can get 33.5, 34.5, 35.5, 36.5. This is where you would find all those alternate bets. A lot of people just go right to the sportsbook and then they immediately just see this number, and if that's not the number they want, they leave and they're like, I can't find it. That is how you find it. You go under alternate points, rebounds, and assists, under the player combos, under the matchup. It's as simple as that. Okay? Another thing that we could show you, player points. All right, if you want to alternate their points, this is where you alternate their total points at. So, for example, Banchero to get 20 plus points, minus 530. Jaylen Brown to get 20 plus points, minus 215. Wagner to get 20 plus points, minus 205. And the list goes on. You can go all the way up as high as you want. Obviously, you don't want to go up here where 40, 35, 40, 50 points. You don't want to do that stuff. All right. But to find the highest probability stuff, you have to look at the odds. All right. And dictate from the odds to their actual probability. What you would do here, for example, is for 20 points, you take Jaylen Brown and you would go look at Jaylen Brown and see what his probability is that he could hit 20 plus points and correlate that with the odds. If he has a 70% chance, 75% chance to hit 20 points, you correlate that with minus 250 or 215, now you have a good bet. So that is what you have to do to be able to correlate the exact right bet to find. You have to find the probability for the player prop. If you don't do that, you will lose most of the time. Just because a play is minus 215, even if it plays minus 500, just because it's that high does not mean that it's a good bet. So you have to be able to find these plays to understand how to use that stuff. Same thing goes here with, you can alternate how many threes they're going to make in a game. 1-3, for them to make 1-3, you got Franz Wagner minus 650. These are all pretty high, obviously, those odds. But then you can go 2 plus here, Banchero 2 plus minus 142. But again, what would you do? You would take this player and go and find their probability of them to hit 2 plus threes in a game, compare that throughout their whole entire season, and see what the probability is compared to the odds. That is how you find the right plays to do. Okay, because you have to be able to dig deep into the sportsbook to be able to find this type of stuff. Most people will not dig deep in there. What they're just going to do is look at the top layer here, which is the stuff that the sportsbook shows you, what they want you to bet. That's pretty much it. You look at the top layer here, they'll go to the NBA. Okay, well, here's the top layer. Look, all these 15 plus points parlay builder, 20 plus points parlay builder. It's all a bunch of stuff that they want you to do because they know that you're going to lose betting these type of plays. Like, look at this for the NHL playoff specials, plus 10,000 for every series to have 6 plus games. Every team to win home ice advantage to win series, plus 2,500. These are all terrible bets that they just want you to place to just waste your money. So to be able to beat the sportsbook, you have to have the right strategy in place, and you got to obviously know where to look when you're going into the sportsbook. So hopefully this video was able to show you guys just on FanDuel. I'm going to do this for multiple sportsbooks, but just on FanDuel where you could find certain bets that will definitely help you get an advantage over the sportsbooks. And remember, when you have an advantage, then every single bet becomes a winning opportunity.